Good morning, friends, and a warm welcome to all of you for joining this webinar on artificial intelligence in procurement. When we talk of artificial intelligence, in short called AI, what are we expecting from this? It basically helps us to transform into a more intelligent, data-driven, and strategic function. We all know procurement has traditionally been a very tactical, operational function. Now we want to move into strategic function. Strategic means we want things to be done faster. We want some time to strategize our activities around. So this is where AI helps us around. So let me see what exactly we plan to cover today. In this next 1 hour, the key takeaways you can take up is, first thing is, what is AI? There's a big confusion. People think it's an app, is it a software? We'll try to clarify that term around. Second, what and why of AI? Then there are subcomponents of AI like machine learning, deep learning, NLP. We'll give you clarity on those parts. Role of ML, machine learning, role of deep learning. If I say AI is algorithm, then what exactly is algorithm? So we'll talk on algorithm. Implementing AI. So once we got the very good understanding of what AI is from the perspective of procurement professional, then we'll get down, guys, implementing AI in procurement. How do I implement this? Why should I implement? What are the benefits of this? In the future of procurements, and how do you see the future of procurement with the evolvement of AI? If I would say in one line, AI and digital transformation, whichever we want to say, is revolutionizing the procurement. It's a game changer. So the future of procurement will talk around talent to survive AI revolution. If AI is becoming so important in the years to come, what talent we need, what type of skills we need. So we'll talk on the skill side. And then we'll say tips for success in case we want to survive in this competitive world, strategic world. So what tips are there for success around? So broadly, the objective, if I say around, is to enhance the efficiency of procurement, cut down the cost, mitigate risk, and optimize procurement process to improve performance. That's how we look at it. Now, overview, if I say very beginning, to set the tone or context, there's a big hype about AI. In the last 2 to 3 decades, this has become a big issue. And this was also in the flashlight, I would say, of the recent World Economic Forum meeting, which was held in Davos in Switzerland. They focused a lot. One was on sustainable procurement, second was on AI. So AI was also ranking among the top 3 issues around, and the third was geopolitical issues. So the growth of global, you can see the trade and the business wise. Actually, AI, historically we go back, it dates back to 10th century before Christ. First reports of AI program, if you can say around, similar to what we know, today came in 1950-51, and it was a game changer. It's not the AI is only today, it has been already there for many years around. So when we think of AI-based programs, certainly the images which we pick up is, oh, Amazon's Alexa is there, Apple's Siri is there. That straight comes to our mind, oh, there is. But that's a very beginning of AI, you could say the weak AI. The next thing comes is AI encompasses a lot more than these virtual assistant programs. AI is a revolutionary technology, no second thought, that offers countless benefits to procurement businesses around. If we see historically, because since we're talking of AI, so let's try to link with the evolution of procurement from pyramid time, which goes back to 2300 BC, before Christ. Then the Roman Empire, all the time procurement has been there around. So if I go in 1832, when the first time the book was written, the name came around materials man. So the word came in materials man, which today we call procurement or supply chain. It came in 1832. Then over the years, focus has been, when the railways came around, the focus has been on supplying department. Then we came with the Great Depression time, World War I, World War II. Procurement has been picking up all the time. Then came in 90s, strategic sourcing. Then came e-procurement in 1995. And now, when we talk around is the present day, if we talk around AI, artificial intelligence, IoTs, and the whole technology of digital transformations of Industrial Revolution 4 have become the game changer. Understanding AI, let's say. Let me clarify the term first. AI encompasses development of algorithms and computational model. If I do this, this is the formula, this is the mathematics, these are the parameters, we try to develop. So it's basically algorithm and computational model. The purpose is to simulate human intelligence. You and me, when we start working it out, I want to collect the data of 200 country offices, which I was when I was sitting in the US. I want to collect my data. I get from everyone's around. So I develop some computational model. Who is buying what? Who else is buying? What price they pay? I develop some algorithm and computation to give me the feedback. In the good old days, we were doing in a very manual way on a spreadsheet. But now these things can do much quicker. So it's not an app. That factor I want to again explain to everybody. It's not an app or software in itself. Rather can be implemented through applications. So keep this in mind. This can be implemented through applications around. Softwares are other technological solutions. You can build into a technology. It can be integrated into various systems and platforms. You can integrate in various systems, including mobile applications, desktop software, even within the hardware. Suppose we are organizing a meeting through, let's say, Zoom or someone, and within the meeting is over, the report comes to us. This is where this can help us. So AI can exist in the form of machine learning algorithms, natural languages, NLP you can call around, computer vision application, other special. To summarize, if I would say, AIs can be described as a set of tools and methodologies rather than a standalone entity. It is not a standalone entity. So it works along with the softwares. It works with other technological solutions or with other apps around. So it works like that. So it's basically a set of tools and methodologies. So I hope by now you got some clarity around AI is a set of tools and methodologies. Let me go further on the again concept of AI. When we say AI, we mean algorithm in general, a plus computational model exhibiting a behavior that is considered smart. If something I was spending whole day in doing with my brain, and now this computational model is much faster, give me the results, give me the inputs very quickly. It gives the computers the ability to think, make decisions on their own. This is obviously a very broad definition, so we'll get into more when we go into the application part. So machine learning is also a part of, is also an algorithm that detects the patterns and uses them for making prediction. So that looks around the patterns around where is the trend, how it is going up, down, and then prediction also and decisions also. This is mostly commonly used for spend classification. If I want to spend, I've got to spend under the category, spend under the various suppliers, I can do those classifications. I'll show you one of the, when we go to the detail, I'll explain one more of it. The next thing comes is the natural language processing, NLP. Here the focus is only on human language, or more concretely, if I say, understanding, interpretation, and math. So our human languages can be picked up through this NLP. The big data, also let me clarify, the word big means it is too large and complex, exceed the processing capability of traditional management system, data management system. The standard CPU may not be able to process. It's too big in size. And this is normally we say with 3 V's. Volume, the quantity, velocity, speed is very high. Varieties are also too many. So to handle this, we need much bigger systems around. And obviously AI calls for a lot of analytics around, risk analytics, predictive analytics. So this is where we go around. Coming back to generative AI, which has become very, very big buzzword in the last 1 year, I can say, generative AI, in short called Gen AI. A form of artificial intelligence, is a form of artificial that has taken the world by storm, we all know, and can produce various types of contents, including text, images, audios, videos, graphic, and synthetic. So we even use in our own office around, so all activities, we have a lot of videos program around. We say, guys, can you just make a small 2 minutes video for us? It did wonderfully, I would say. Excellent tool for all these things around. Text preparations, images part, audios, videos, graphic, and synthetic. But for various applications, you have to get it customized to your own things. AI in its form is a critical part of lots of different applications. Key ways in which generative AI can benefit the procurement industry. First thing is increase efficiency, productivity improvements, in-depth market analysis. If I want to do the risk mitigation part of market analysis, this can be useful around. If I provide all the data around, guys, if I go this way, that is the risk. So then this can summarize all those things. Spend reduction and sustainability and compliance part. So this one is also a part of the AI, but becoming very visible. Another thing, because AI works on data, keep this in mind. Some people think without the data, no. And data quality has to be good. The garbage in, garbage out. So even when I go with the chat GPT, if I ask something, if all around the data is wrong, it'll give you wrong information. It's heavily dependent on data. Data serves as a foundation for training machine learning models, which are crucial components of AI system. Without sufficient and relevant data, AI system lack the necessary information to learn patterns. If I want to learn the pattern, are we doing good job, bad job? Is it the right way to do or not? Or make prediction is all about the data. But let me also a little bit try to give some idea about when we talk of artificial intelligence. How do I correlate with a human being? Human body, let's say brain. Brain also works on a data. And the data, brain depends on sensory inputs around. Sensory input, somebody touches you, get a feel of it around. Who could be the person around? Somebody closes your eye, you know who's the person around. Plus, you have ears and eyes. So ears and eyes are giving the data to the brain. If, God forbid, if someone loses ears and eyes, the source of data is gone, except the sensory part. So AI can, same thing with, again, we are trying to put, I put the AI at the bottom of this picture, you can see. So it also trying to do the same thing. We are trying to mimic it actually. And without data, brain also works on the data and the sensory part, and AI also works on the data part. For the brain, I get the data from eyes and ears and sensory input. And for artificial intelligence, you have tons of data. Any company you go around, they produce so much of information from suppliers, catalog from suppliers, invoices from suppliers. You got tons of supplier information. That information, that data, assuming it is good quality, it can help you a lot. And then I could also have robotic process automation, which I can do based on the other data. But if AI can give me the data which I need, it can also do that. So if I summarize it, Or AI, what we are looking around is objective is doing is automation. The broad purpose is AI not just to learn academically, right? We want to automate our activities. Then to do all this, we need artificial intelligence. And within artificial intelligence, we have machine learning, deep learning, NLP, all those things. RP is outside. So you can see around these deep thinking is thinking side. Machine learning also visualizes the patterns. AI can also give you inputs, but doing part is automation. Now, some people think AI could take over our work. Again, let me be very clear on this part. At least the procurement activity is human-centric. It can never take it. Human mind can work on many things parallelly. AI will not work that parallelly around. So certainly, and then we have also emotional aspects around, which again, AI will not have emotional aspects around. So don't think that this can replace, no, but can make us more smarter, efficient. That's all I can say. Now, this is how the evolution started from 1950, and the concept has been for much before: artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning. So already I've given you the indication 50s, 80s, and 2010. And after the deep learning, I think now people are becoming smarter with this one. Now, understanding algorithm. Algorithm is an essential building block of AI, machine learning, deep learning, and natural language processing. It's a building blocks, basically. They're a set of instructions. Those instructions that guide the computers around. Surbhi has raised a hand around. Surbhi, you have any issues around on this? Surbhi, hi.
Yes, sir. Hi, sir. Good morning.
Yeah.
Firstly, thank you, sir, for organizing this session. This is, I think, a very I would say, a topic which is perfect on the timing right now. The question that I had was, there are multiple tools within a lot of procurement software which actually generate a lot of reports which can be used for, data refining purposes and
Yeah.
for spend analysis and reduction risk analysis as well. How AI will actually differ from those reports, and how, if I were to use the reports generated by, say, tool like Jagger or Ariba, how they will be different from AI?
Okay, I think very good point. Should I hold this question till end so that I can
Yeah,
clarify?
sure.
Okay.
No worries. Thank
Thank
you.
Okay, guys, so algorithms are essential building blocks of AI, machine learning, deep learning. So they are a set of instructions that guide the computers. Now, these algorithms are what allows AI systems to be helpful and powerful for understanding human languages. Deep learning algorithms use multiple layers of data processing. So this goes one step further than, I would say, deep learning. Now, in the case of, they go one step further than the machine learning. In a machine learning, I was trying to recognize the patterns around. In now deep learning, I can learn of its own. It's just like child growing up, they learn a lot. In the beginning, they fall down, but then they grow up, they have their own data, they learn faster. That is what we do in the autopilot car also around. So you have a deep learning there around. In the beginning, it may have some issues, but over the time, it learns, become more mature. So that's the deep learning helps us around. So deep learning algorithms use multiple layers. NLP algorithms help computers process, interpret, respond to human language. So NLP goes also one step further. Now, these trio, which I can solve AI, ML, and deep learning, closely related, as we have learned by now, together they form a powerful trio that enables AI systems to learn, adopt, perform various tasks that were once thought to be only done by other activities around it. Now, the potential of AI in Indian companies, broadly, I'll say, and then I just jump to the procurement part. AI advances and makes inroads in every aspect of it. AI is everywhere, even your income tax, everywhere around. Now, AI could be very weak AI or a smarter AI. I'm not saying AI is just coming now. AI has been there around for years in different activities in different forms. You guys have been seeing of Alexa's, they're also there, but they're weak AI. Other places also it has come around. In procurement also people have been doing it. It's not that it's coming just out of the blue, no, except it's becoming more smarter, more faster. So AI advantages makes inroads in every aspect of India. So most of the companies in digital space have been using AI for predictive analytics. So if I want to predict around, I can use this. Data-wise, if I see of Indian economy, what they're saying, we have $3.75 trillion. B2B is 2.5, B2C is 1.25, and AI is going to have much bigger inroad into this, specifically e-commerce. They're using a lot. Not that they are not doing it, they're doing it. So many of the things around millions of suppliers, they want to identify which suppliers are active, which are not active. AI is helping them. Whether it is the smartest or not is the second question, but they are using it. Understanding AI for procurement. Now, AI, which stands for artificial intelligence, is like a smart digital assistant. So the way I look around AI, I can embed this into various activities around of my procurement, or various software of my procurement. But then this is more of a digital assistant. AI can look at historical data, market trends, and even information from suppliers to figure out the best deals and negotiate better prices. Now, these things we are doing already. It's not the new thing around, but AI does much faster than that. That's the only thing around. If I have got a data from, let's say, when I was heading as a chairperson from the UN, and I had around 160 country offices, and we were spending around $15 billion. So I used to collect the data. I said, give me the data. First thing, they will take ages to give me the data. Then somebody has to do it. And I had a one person with me whose job was to enter all the data into spreadsheets, and 160 spreadsheet, combining them together, they were all being done. But later on, over the time, we changed it. And now I know, after I left around, they have changed it, and now it works with AI. So AI is not the first time, except AI is becoming more smart with the time. It can also predict when certain items might be run out of stock. So businesses can order in advance, avoiding interruptions in their operations. Now, some places we have been doing with a manual also. I can give the example of, let's say, Walmart or any other e-commerce company. And any other big companies around, they deal millions of varieties of items, goods and services. And they know very well each shelf is going up, quantity is going down and down. And they decide the minimum level. Now, the minimum level is decided. You can imagine around, if I'm the one dealing with one category, within my category, I've got 150 varieties, and I'm deciding the 150, what should be the minimum level, and minimum level is dynamic. It's not fixed. Initially, I might have fixed, guys, okay, these items should go up to 20, then new order should be placed. Now, new order should be placed. I can do it with the old-fashioned system. If I go very manually, I'll say, go and check every shelf. How many pieces left? Place an order. Supplier is already fixed. But now with the modern systems, computer checks it. That means you have the algorithm, you have the computational model. So that checks it, guys, what level it has gone. Last time I might have given a minimum level of 20, but now I find the season is going up. My demand has gone up by 20%. So naturally, with that 20%, this has to be picked up. Either I do manually, or my system takes care of it. If my system can find the trend of sale of each and every item, and based on that, it decides what should be the minimum level, it changes and accordingly places the order. And if it is placing order with 2 or 3 companies, and if you find one is bad, it gives the feedback to you. So that is what changes are happening. Earlier we were doing it, but we were doing more manually. So now we are doing much smarter way. So in the process, we have become more quicker. Think of AI as a capable assistant. Big data plays a significant role in enhancing the capabilities and effectiveness of many AI applications. This is how it goes. Now, AI in procurements, broadly, I would say around it can be used for contract management, strategic sourcing, spend analysis, and although I have not mentioned here, but I would say classification. Because that exercise I did myself now is used, as you know, worldwide, UNSPSC. So when I developed in 83 and 86, 3 years, we were having around a team of people trying to classify items. Under what group they fall, under what family they fall, which family we reports to what and what, like a family tree. So we made it around so many varieties for goods, services. But now when I look around, guys, I might have wasted 3 years. If I have AI that time, it was, but not that matured enough. I could have done in 3 months, 6 months. So that's the beauty of it. It makes you faster. So classification of your goods and services can be done much quicker. And we are doing one project with Government of India on NIC. We developed some coding system, but now I feel AI could do much faster. So contract management, strategic sourcing, P2P, spend analysis, I think this is the area which is picking up much faster. Now, harnessing AI for procurement. AI is certainly revolutionizing procurement by automating the routine tasks. Routine tasks are in P2P, which are going on a repetitive basis. So those tasks which I'm spending too many resources, it can be automated. So the word I would say is automation. So ultimately, AI is helping me to automate some activities. And decision making also become fast. In 2024, I think we should explore AI to drive efficiency, solve complex problems, improve overall procurement workflow. The workflow also, I'll give you one example later on P2P, leveraging AI. So leveraging AI can free up procurement teams for strategic activity. Earlier, I was spending time on my routine firefighting things around. Now those firefighting things have gone down. If it can place order of its own, it can even think of it that the demand is picking up and now you have to get more much quicker. I can focus on strategy. So if I look at any organization procurement today, they are still like a pyramid. On the tip of the pyramid is strategic people. In between is tactical people. At the bottom, the big bulk, 60 to 70% of the staff is working on operational activity. Simple firefighting, day-to-day thinking. Tactical is okay weekly, but strategic people are time is not there. So now we want to turn this pyramid upside down. So we want more people at strategic level. That's what we are expecting around. AI-powered analytics can identify cost-saving opportunities and trends. Now, these are the type of analytics we do all the time. We can do manually, no second thought. But if I got millions of data, I'll be spending too much time. Prescriptive, descriptive, and predictive. Now, descriptive means it provides insights into what has happened, why it has happened. It gives me a graph. I'll give my data to someone, the guy will draw the graph, pattern, the trend. Predictive means what could happen. And then prescriptive means it also give me a decision, guys, how best to do it. So this is the thing which we are doing today, but takes too much time. And now this will be done while the AI is much faster. The benefits, if I look at the broad sense, obviously the supplier relationship. It can optimize the management of supplier relationship and identify new suppliers. Operations. AI can streamline complex business operations with minimal interruption. New markets. It can identify new supply sources. Manual tasks. So let me also correlate the one I can correlate with my personal life around. Now, when we were trying to start supplier relationship in 2008, we started it out. I had around 25,000 suppliers worldwide, working for many countries on this. And we were doing performance management. And performance management, in that time, I did a very simple system, was 5-2. 5 parameters based on price, based on quality, based on quantity, and based on lead time, and the last one after sales service. Simple formulas, and computers were able to do it. And I built along with the ERP that time. So then we had this one. Then we say, guys, okay, give me the reporting of those suppliers which are doing 5 out of 5. Scoring was 5 out of 5, average score. Those who are scoring 4 out of 5, 3 out of 5, those less than 3, I'll send him, the computer will send a message to them, guys, you are not doing well. Please tell us why, how we can help you. 5 who are doing very well, we came with a better relationship. Give a long-term contract to them, 2 years, 3 years. So that which we were doing is a very painstaking and time-consuming. But now if I see of AI, it can even interpret much faster and much quality may be better. So operations part, okay, if there are complex operation, 10 steps around to do something, can I cut down from 10 steps to 5 steps? New markets, if somebody says, guys, we want to get this X item or a Y item of this specifications, if I want to find the supply sources, what we used to do, and I'm sure same thing is being done now, many people just go on with the trend. What is going on for the last 5 years? Same suppliers. While we still had a team, okay, they'll say, guys, can we see the Thomas registers? Can we see others, Compass books from Europe, Compass books from Malaysia, Compass from this, South Africa, everyone's tried to find it. We used to look even the Alibaba's register also. So we tried to find the new markets around all the time. Otherwise, if we don't find, same suppliers are working with us for the last 5 years, and they take us for granted. And in the process, there's no innovation. But now let's look around. You all have got, all of you who are in this meeting even, everyone is producing too much of data. Too many catalogs, too many of information, supplier information. If that could be combined together, just like the Alexa songs type, and you have multiple and millions of data around, then you can, with the help of AI, can pull what you want. I'll show you an example later on this. Manual task, decision making, and acquiring data. So keep in mind that data is the core of this, the cornerstone of the whole success of AI. Now, this all is leading us into disruption. In the last, these ideas were there in AI. I'm not saying it was not, because I was involved in EDIFACT standards and all those things around. Concepts were there, but they were not very matured, let me be honest. But in the last few years, era of disruption, when we look around, earlier we were saying VUCA, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. But now the whole VUCA has been replaced by BUN. So the B stands for brittle, shelf life is very short, product life is very short. Think of mobile phones. Every 6 months, the model is changing. Think of cars. Who thought of cars can be changed in 6 months? The new models comes up every year. And demand is also fluctuating because customer is restless, want to know what next. Earlier, we used to learn from the college when we came around, we always thought of a linear path. This has happened because of this. That cause and effect relationship is not working many places. No cause and effect. While in the colleges, when we came out around, we were taught, I'm talking of in the 70s, cause and effect. Incomprehensible, difficult to comprehend. So the word is becoming that. So certainly we need in this era, AI becomes much more prominent. That's what I wanted to say around. So when I take up brittleness, we need capacity and resilience. You can't have resilience without having end-to-end connectivity. Without having AI to help you quicker. End-to-end connectivity is there, but now somebody has to give me the response much quicker. Transparency, intuition. So this is where I'm now coming next, how the digital part came around in the last few years and AI as well. So the paradigm shift is certainly there around. If you look at the traditional procurement process, starting from specifying requirements, check price, create requisition, going up to the procurement process return. I've all gone through this for many ages. But when ERP, I was involved in implementing the ERP in 2004 in my country, in many countries around. So there, what I saw, I was a very happy person when ERP came. But then I found what we had done. We have created an island of requisition, approval of requisition, purchase order, but the selection part is outside the ERP. Whole contract management is also outside this one. So basically, out of 17, we only created 3 islands, one for requisition, very well done, purchase order, and payments. All other activities were outside. That was a pain point later on after 5 years. I said, guys, and by the time I had left it, so I said, guys, this is not going to work. So this is where now digital transformation and AI will help us. So you can see the whole story of e-procurement, digital procurement. So digital procurement, when we talk of AI versus digital, AI is an integral and transformative element. Now everybody is moving into digital, whether you're talking of Ariba, they're all helping us in this field. No second thought about it. Many companies have come up into this one. Digital is fine, but to transformative element, I've got in all the data now. But I have to make sense out of the data. And to make sense out of the data, I need AI. I want to automate some task based on outcome, enhance my experience. That's where AI comes in. So I would put it this way. We started for MRPs in 70s. I worked on all of them. In Tata's, we had MRP. ERP, I was in the US. The e-procurement, the procurement 4.0. Now, e-procurement is creating the data. Now, the data is available with us. And now the data, whether we are using it or not, is second. And that's where the AI pitches in around. So the role of AI with procurement, if I see around, one is data analysis, data decision, cost savings, supplier management, risk management. So it's not an operational function. It is driven by decisions based on the output coming from AI. Demand management, process automation, contract analysis, real-time alerts, supplier diversity, and sustainable. If somebody says my goods are green, and if that data is available on the website somewhere, I can pull it up. Is this product green and how much carbon footprint they create? Continuous improvement part. So, and if more data are coming around, there's a scope for continuous improvement. Data excellence. This is again, I want to emphasize before I take to the typical examples. AI is the key to making AI. Data excellence is the must. And this is where I'll say the weakest point in all over the procurement. You might be using any tools. There are only 2 moments. First thing is to create the piece of the data live. One, the moment it is created. The person who's creating a data is different. And the person who's using the data is different. I made a requisition. I made a purchase. I made a POs. But the guy who's following it is different. Problematically, if I say the 2 moments are rarely connected. The creation of the data and the uses of the data. And the stumbling blocks for companies wanting to reap the benefit of this. I can tell you, we were trying to work it out for the government of India. Where is the spend going on? All over India, because now they've got the NIC office, so they wanted to came with the coding system. They collected all the purchase orders and everything around. But when they look at the purchase order, the description written and typed in English, but the local language is used around. Computers can't make many meaning out of it. So that is becoming a stumbling block for us. And this is where we are hoping AI can help us to clean that part. Those who create the data don't use it. So somebody who made the POs, the job is over. Now somebody trying to analyze it, to predict for the future, they have a difficulty. So no means to alter it. Different department depend different information from the data. Some wants account payable, may simply need, I need only the address. The other guy needs the complete how long the complete information. So everybody needs from the same different bits and pieces. Value of AI in procurement. Most companies have wide range of data sources, all of you, wide range of data sources. You may be my competitors, maybe other ones. You may be buying even people who are using Ariba. Many of the suppliers more or less buying same items, but data sources are not shared. Transactions, contracts, files, reports, catalogs, all are pumping millions of data into the information system. Now that information system is available, the same like Compass and Thomas Register. If that information is available in a very good quality, if I say around, connect that information to your own procurement data. Then you can leverage it. So we are still in the beginning stage. I'm not saying that we are in the maturity stage. Artificial intelligence offers an innovative and truly effective solution in response to the three challenges: the quality of the data, the classification of the data, and the next is the volume to be processed. If I want to volume, my data has become so big, my processor may not work on that. So the volume to be processed, that AI helps us. Now, driving procurement intelligence, obviously automation to save time and money. Any activity I automate. I'm doing something and I tell my digital assistant, can you find this? I've got two computers, one I do my own work. Other one I say, can you pull out and tell me summary of this? Where we have spent more? What trend is there? Then by the time I finish my first paragraph, I have the answer available. So that is what we're looking around automation to save time and money, data-driven strategies, increase visibility and control over spend. So this is where we're leading into this. The broad areas around spend analytics, certainly the big areas. Automation of manual tasks, mainly in P2P. I'll give one real example on that. Automation of P2P and strategic sourcing also somewhat. But strategic sourcing success will depend on the quality of the data. Risk identification, contract management, chatbot, we're all using it around. And they're becoming smarter day by day. For the last few years, many companies, many websites are using chatbots. Not that they are not using it, they're using AI. For what level of chatbots, that's a different thing. Now here, let me give you the broad concept with procurement AI softwares. For contract management, that's a process. Application I can use is NLP. Then I can use the software solution, contract lifecycle management. Supplier risk management, I can use the web crawlers. For purchasing parts, the bots can be used around. So bots itself is also AI application. The payments, I can use the machine learning. For spend analysis, I can use machine learning. Supplier identification, I can do big data. And for strategic sourcing, I can use RPA. So this is all forms of AI, the types of AI, you can say different, which can be used around. Now, coming back to the process landscape around, the management process is around procurement strategies, organization process, AI can't help us much as of now. Employee management, just the quarter part you can see around. If I see the potential, high and low. So this is only 25%. But core processes, if I say technology and category strategy, again 50%. Source to contract, 75%, S2C. Project procurement, P2P is certainly the big one. So if you see in the bigger picture, P2P is the very first one where we can really make a big meaning out of it. Support process around. Risk management, I can do quite a big impact around. Contract management, again, big ones. KPIs, performance management, 50%. So presently it's a maturing stage. But in this whole scene, you can see around P2P is a great success where we can do much better. Now, spend classification and enrichment. Let me start with the spend part because If I want to do S2C, the game starts from the category management. From category management, I use my strategic sourcing, and spend is the very first thing. What do we need in the spend? 3 Ws. Who spent, on what, and with whom. Need for more robust processes to manage compliance. Accurate spend data is foundational. Spend classification. So this is where we're doing. Now spend analytics, I can do ML algorithm. If I have an algorithm on machine learning, it can automatically classify on different spend data. I'll show you one screenshot also on this. The software can also provide suggestions for category expert through classification tool. Machine learning can also go beyond spend classification. So the whole classification part I can do on this. So I can show you this one as a classification. General ledger says it is IT code. Invoice says it's a computer. Category says it's an IT hardware. Manufacturers could be peer. Vendor could be this. Price could be. So that way classification under what category it comes, under what family it comes, what is the GL account, because finance people have their own general ledger accounts. So we have our own, there it is much broader IT equipment, but we call IT hardware. Or I could have IT software separate. So like this, if I can segregate, because when I was doing in 1983, 86, 3 years we were spending on this time, converting 50,000 varieties of items manually and then trying to change here and there. And that was the basis for our United Nations Standard Product Standard Classification, used by SAP, used by Oracle now, everybody does. Global sourcing insights. CPOs often run into a web of data, enormous data, when looking at them with sourcing strategy. New tools are enabling business to use power of AI to explore high-level sourcing strategy. These enables CPOs to identify where to source. Let me show you how it can be done. Let's say I'm sourcing supplier using machine learning. Now, what I'm trying to do is search inputs, assuming that all the databases of everybody's are combined together. The same thing like music today. You tell Alexa, can you run this music for me? And it runs. For millions of songs, it picks it up. And if you go one step further, I'm looking for a song like this, it'll give you all the choices around. Same with search input, assuming that I say I want only suppliers from India, or I want only supplier from North America. Defining the constraint, I say I'm looking for loudspeaker. And I want only manufacturer, none else. I'm not looking for the agents around. My input is this. Search process starts. And the search process goes through millions of choices around and then give you some outcomes around. So result is 90. Potential suppliers across a range of industries, all 87. So all this have been pulled out from that, which you and me have to do around with looking at some of the data. We can spend weeks and weeks. Because our brain is good, but speed-wise, when it comes around, this cannot match with this. If I have to process the data of 10,000 suppliers, and this guy will do in seconds. So it gives you 90 potential suppliers, and automotive speakers are 27, multimedia speakers are this, marine. So in short, from millions, it can give you quick information depending on your parameter. You want manufacturers, you want some ISO standard requirements, you want something else, you want EU certification, you want DIN certification, it can give you the list quickly. Now, smarter supplier search, which you cite already around, it can be done for manufacturing capability together with the constraint also. Example, I told you, location. I want only suppliers from India, or manufacturers from India, or manufacturers from North America, or from Europe. You can do all that. So refreshed data of billions of suppliers come from variety of proprietary, public source, commercials. Then we have I think I already have clarified, so I don't think I need to go into the depth of this. Now let's come down to people. This is a very important thing. Because we have procurement got two parts now. One, source to contract. Their job is to make long-term agreements. P2P piggybacks on that and tries to process it. I'm not saying they are able to get contract for all of them, or they uses the catalogs. If assuming S2C has developed catalogs, and these people bids on that. Managing and recording the procurement transactions are already automated to some extent. Artificial intelligence will take into new levels. For instance, it will help decision-making by staff who place the order through a catalog type called guided by. AI will also support areas such as automated invoice processing. Now, automated means if e-invoice has come to you, e-purchase order already started. I'm not saying not. Already Government of India has made a must. Anything more than company having a turnover of more than 5 crores, e-invoice is there. E-purchase order is there. You can see your goods receipt note is also there. Then human elements, what has to do? If it is matching up, and if you allowed some tolerance of 2%, 5%, it processes it. So there is EI to some extent. I'm not saying there's something new. People have started using it. Now let's look at the P2P. Now, which are the area where we have a high impact? The game starts from requisition in P2P. Then I process the POs. Impact is medium, I would call around. Then comes around the PO acknowledgements and delivery assurance. Not that big impact around. The major impact comes of AI only in catalog. If my catalogs are being updated on a regular basis, otherwise I have to have 3-4 staff members to manage it. If AI can manage my catalogs, that's the major meaning. Second comes on the guided buying. Then we got invoice processing payments. Another help comes is help desk and support. Supplier calls you, what happened to my payments? What happened to this? Answers can go automatically through bots. So you can see the high impact area, medium impact, and the low impact. So P2P to a lot extent can be done much better. The result impact will be much better. But again, keep in mind that each organization is having a different things around, but one has to streamline. Strategic sourcing. So use NLP to collect data on vendors or specific markets over the internet to forecast the prices. If I feel my products are made XYZ and I'm using 8 types of materials, and all those materials are basically commodity, and they're all linked with some international benchmark of prices. Let's say buying copper cables. A cable price, 70% depends on copper. And if copper price is linked with London Metal Exchange, if that change up and down, it can tell me immediately what is going to happen in the market. So if I'm dealing with millions of dollars on this only, or billions of dollars only on 1 or 2 items, I'll keep a track on this. When to buy early, when to buy late. So contract discussions often easier, more productive with complete perspective of past spending, supplier compliance, performance statistics. Even within your own office, if you ask, can you tell me the supplier performance part? How has it been the last 1 year? The guy will take full week to give you a report on that. But if you tell the AI, here are my parameters, based on these parameters, can you pull up and give me the report? So by the time you've written a 1 paragraph, it comes. So that's the beauty of it. We might have been using AI in the past also, but maybe some slower, but now much smarter tools have come around. Algorithm is also smarter become. Computational models have also changed. So they are all the time changing. The primary objective of AI in procurement is to support rather than replace the procurement. Keep in mind, again, I'm saying around, procurement will remain human-centric. Computers can't make a relationship. We need to make a relationship with supplier. It can support me in negotiation. Suppose I'm doing a negotiation, AI is watching the whole thing. giving me a feedback based on the body language. It helps me to do better negotiation, nothing more. So keep that in mind. It is not replacing part, but makes us quicker and faster. Invoice data extraction, if I want to do, use of AI in accounts payable team today in the extraction of invoice data. These systems generally consist of data extractors with AI components for automated extraction, a document manager, controlling the workflow, and a verification interface for operator-based data storage. For those who don't have source-to-pay system with invoicing in place, this can be a valuable solution and fast implement. So this is how we can do it. Automated compliance part. Are we complying with the requirements or not before we process the payment? So that's what we can do. Coming back to contract analysis. It is basically based on these steps. First thing is contract authoring, reviewing, approvals, managing, renewal. So when I do the renewal, if I learn some good lessons, then I could incorporate those requirements. If I feel during this whole 1 year, this supplier was always failing me in delivery, in quality, rejections, then I can make my contract amend it. I will not extend as it is. So that data we need around, so makes us little much quicker and smarter. Inherent cost inefficiencies, compliance, oversight leading losses, risk from complex needs. Even the contract authoring I'm doing around. Suppose if I tell the computers, can you walk through this and tell me where I've missed out, any risk around? In the beginning, I spelled it out. In this contract, potential risks are these. Let's say delivery is one of the risks. Quality is another risk around. Has it been properly addressed or not? Indemnity is another risk around. Suppliers being bought by somebody is another risk around. Has it been covered or not? It can pull out and tell where you have missed out. Then I can review it. So contract data extractions, contract managements. So I think the 6 steps I showed you should be good enough for that. Okay, guys, then the life cycle management. Life cycle means starting from the beginning, the day I signed the contract, till closure, and particularly those who are dealing with a complex project of 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. I remember my project, which was the biggest one I can say around, was of more than $1 billion project, which was in Iraq. Electrification, thousands of kilometers around, hundreds of activities around, towers, cables, people, and other inputs as well. Now, keeping a track for 2 years, 3 years, and each milestone, I think AI can give you much quicker results. We were doing, I'm not saying that without AI we were not surviving, we were doing, but time consumption was there. If anything I have to process, it will take me 2 weeks, 3 weeks before my team gives me the inputs. So contract lifecycle management, AI could be very good. For small contracts for a delivery of 1 day, 3 days, 4 days, you can do even other ways, not a big issue. Impact will not be big. So AI impact will be much bigger on bigger money, bigger deliveries, all those things around. The possible data, where do I collect the data? The data will come from the POs. The data will come from ERP data. Data will come from your spreadsheet and SharePoints around. Public internet, external data. Third-party proprietary data. So this data, if you can collect around, great. So then you have much bigger data, and particularly you have your own list of suppliers, but then you have other information. Innovations. The concept of procurement as a key driver for innovation is relatively new. Many firms are realizing the supply market are potentially a huge source of ideas. We have been working with only 10 suppliers. We are only playing with them. Today, this business, next time this, next third time this. What is happening in the world all over? That I think we are sometimes not ignorant about. So once we get a good database around, then we feel, guys, oh my goodness, we have been using this, but there are many other things that have come around which are smarter. Then you get more innovative ideas. So finding suppliers that can provide real value is not easy, particularly as many are likely to be smaller and younger. I think India has a big group of startup companies around. Even in procurement also, there are many companies have come around who are coming with AI concepts from end-to-end e-procurement. First thing I would say, e-procurement is a must, end-to-end. If you're not connected end-to-end, your data is there, but then you have to spend too much time to pull the data. But once it is E, the data are available. So AI-powered search capability will help organizations define and then identify their suppliers to bring the advantages around. Future, if I say, total process automations in operational areas, but not in a strategic area. Keep this in mind. Routine processes, yes, which we were doing earlier, not to reach the minimum level. Somebody will come, make an acquisition. No, this can be automated. So automated value creations, full spend transparencies, agile supply ecosystem. Benefits, I think we already have discussed quite a lot. Cost savings, efficiencies, collaborations, much smarter, SRM, innovations, sustainability, and financial success. Talent to survive now. Question comes, the biggest thing, the biggest challenge is the talent also. The mindset of the people. Procurement profession will need higher level skills to stay relevant. The focus of I is to reinforce the work of procurement function, not to replace staff. The purpose is not to replace, is to reinforce their quality of work around. The way forwards, first fix the P2P process, I would say. Easiest one, you can demonstrate something. I'll say go with the baby walk first. If anybody's thinking of now, think of a baby walk, show the results. With P2P, you can demonstrate around. And as it is, I feel in the P2P, many organizations, there's a lot to be done to streamline the process process. The landscape is hampered by poorly governed data acquisition, accumulation. Robotic process automations will be the first applied in this context. So RP I can use in P2P for some items which are repetitive. Next, build source to contract. So next step, I will do source to contract. And on Monday, I'm doing same thing with one organization. So that's the next step I will talk. Artificial intelligence is the next technology that will help analyze the rich information environments. And lastly, I will say I'll touch on the SR. So start with the P2P, then go to RPA of some activities, S2C and RPSR. Because these are costly, let me tell you, it's not going to be so economical. So they are very high cost. So one has to go step by step. And if you don't demonstrate, you don't want to put your money into the sink or you want to go up. Tips for success, the last one, if I say, the drive your process top down, you need support from the bosses. Clear governance, coupled with realistic expectations. Accept that there will be failures, even in a well-governed environment. So build cross-functional integrations. If other people are not supporting you, because your function is not only for you, it's for cross-functional. In case of manufacturing, they are also affected. Production people are affected. Marketing people are also affected. So you have to think of a cross-functional integration. Procurement cannot be an island of its own. It has to work much more integrated way. Widen the talent, recognize the basics, robust data, good governance, solid process provide the foundation. Start with the problems and focus on issues that you want to solve. Well, friend, with this, I want to thank you all. If you have any questions, I'll be very happy to answer this.